Hello, my name is Michelle Grinstead, and I am the Young Adult Librarian here at Quincy Public Library. Today we'll be going over teen taxes. As a quick reminder, this is not financial advice, just an overview of resources and general tax rules and knowledge via the IRS. Some resources you have include VITA, or the Volunteer Income Tax Assistance. This program assists people who are low to moderate income who are a single income earning individual. So this would be perfect for you. They will file your taxes and help you get it sorted for free. You'd have to make an appointment online or over the phone. The IRS will have answers to most tax-based questions you may have for federal information. The Illinois Department of Revenue will have state information, and here at Quincy Public Library, we have physical copies of both sets of forms. What are taxes? Taxes are a required payment levied on income, sale of goods, or business profits to the government. The government uses these funds to provide various programs and initiatives. This includes fire departments, libraries, roads, defense, health programs, and other social safety programs. These are key terms. So these are what you're going to need to know when filing your taxes. Withholding represents money that an employer deducts from paychecks to pay all or part of an employee's taxes. Exempt, depending on how much you make for the year, you may not have to pay federal income tax. If this is you, that would mean you'd be exempt from paying. Employee paperwork. When you start a job, they will have you fill out an I-9 or make a copy of one of the documents listed here as acceptable documents to prove employment eligibility. This includes passport, voter's registration, school or military ID, driver's license, or social security card. Your employers must have it on file, and they will keep it 3 years after you're no longer employed there. Part 2, a W-4. When you're a new employee, they will have you fill out a W-4. It tells employers how much federal income tax to withhold from your paycheck. If you don't fill this out correctly, you could owe money when taxes are due April 15th, or could be taking too much out of each paycheck when they're doing withholding. It's pretty basic, and it takes you step by step on how to fill it out. You can put exempt on your W-4 if you weren't required to pay federal income tax last year, you don't expect to this year, which means you made less than $12,400 in a fiscal year, and you're expecting to make less than $12,400 this year. If you claim exempt and we're not, you will owe money on your taxes. If you don't claim exempt and are, you can break even or receive a refund when you file. So you're not exempt. What happens now? The employer will take out the correct amount of taxes. Once the year is over and you receive your W-2s, you're going to file your taxes by April 15th. April 15th is the date you must file by, and you can start doing that as soon as you have your W-2s. So paycheck stubs, when you get your check, they come with a stub that has gross income listed. That's all of your earnings for that pay period prior to deductions being taken out. A deduction that's going to be federal or state taxes, and you can get a refund on those potentially. They'll also take out Social Security and Medicare. You will not get a refund of those. Net income is what you actually received after deductions have been removed. All right, let us talk about a W-2. It's a form you receive from your employer by January 31st. They have to get it to you by that date. It gives you a number for how much you made during the year and how much you paid in taxes. It's used to fill out your tax return, basically. When you receive your W-2s, there should be 3 copies. The extra copies only matter if you don't file digitally. You need one for you, one for your state tax return, and one for your federal tax return if you mail them. Are you required to file a tax return? If parents can claim you, you must file if your earned income for the year is above $12,400, and that's going to be typically your gross income on a W-2, or your unearned income was over $1,100. That's found on a 1099 INT. You would receive that from a bank based on interest. So if you have a trust fund or a savings account and your interest has accrued over $1,000 a year, then you would have to file. For the state tax return, it varies from state to state. In Illinois, if required to file federally, you must file a state tax return. All right, let's talk about money. If you don't legally have to file, you may still want to in case you qualify for a refund. If you don't file and are legally required, there will be a 5% penalty per month up to 25% of unpaid taxes. If you file late, there's a 0.5% penalty per month up to 25% of unpaid taxes. These forms are sort of the basic forms that you may need. The 1040 is going to be the primary tax form for federal taxes. Schedule A is for itemized deductions. Schedule C is if you own your own business. Schedule E is if you own rental properties. And Schedule F is for farm income. All right, so you're ready to file. If completed electronically, you'll e-file, and you can get a refund in about 2 weeks. If completed on paper, you'll mail in a W-2 and your 1099 INT with your return if you receive a 1099 INT. Those are pretty rare and not often something you have to worry about. If you're going to mail it in, it may be required for state taxes if you don't have a state-issued photo ID. If you owe money, you can write a check and it'll be payable to the United States Treasury for federal. And then for state, when you're filing your taxes, they'll have that information for you as well on who to pay it to. So how do you file? There are free online filing. Examples are TurboTax, H&R Block, TaxAct, and TaxSlayer. TurboTax and H&R Block use Intuit, which did have an information breach in recent years. They also will try to mislead you into paying for services, so you have to be really careful when filing on what you click on. You can also file directly through the IRS and Illinois online, or you can file for free through the post office with forms that you can find online or here at the library. All right, that is a general overview of taxes for teens.